It's time for takeaways in the KATUNGURU herd, the lovely little lawnmowers. The rest of the herd is already moving off to the river to have a lovely drink. For those who saw the first episode of the 1st of May 2025 of the Cow Whisperer, and now you can see the herd has left many beautiful insect hotels, nutrients, and they're moving up the reserve now to the next destination, which is going to be gifted by all the delicious nutrition. I'm so happy you could have a look to see that little bit of a takeaway milkshake going on there with the youngest generation. They're still learning about my presence, as I was mentioning in the first episode. It's very relaxing spending time with all these peaceful animals. Although I'm not part of the herd, I'm just the object that they recognize. It's a beautiful feeling of acceptance and just being in the moment. The same as with wild animals that I move around with. Once they recognize that you are not a threat, they will continue with their daily lives. And it's as if you are looking through this magnificent window, getting a snapshot into an alternative reality. That's good to see. Egyptian geese. Oh, they're difficult to find against the clouds. There they are. Allopochin aegyptiacus. Seriously, whoever comes up with these horrendous scientific names, I'm sure as a joke for us who have to learn these scientific names. Research biotechnicians, of course. You need to know all the different names of all the different animals and plants. All right, let's keep walking along. Yes. That is not an air raid siren warning, everybody. You can relax. Just the same as our hardy-dar ibises are relaxed. Look at that. Beautiful to see them walking along behind the cattle. I mentioned in the first episode a few moments ago that they follow along because there could be some delicious snacks. That's Bostrichia haggardash. Yes, Bostrichia haggardash, hardy-dar ibis. So, that loud call I made was just to let Zeus, the supreme leader, up ahead know I'm following along behind the herd. Don't suddenly turn and charge to protect the herd from an intruder. Let's have a look. I mentioned they're heading down to the river. Now, I haven't been to the river yet today, but it was flowing strongly only a few days ago. Again, I'm not walking directly behind them. I'm walking parallel and slightly at an angle. So they know if they turn, they don't suddenly see something approaching rapidly from behind them as a predator might do. But they can smell me as well because I'm moving along with the wind deliberately. Again, the surprise aspect in observation is never a good idea. So the whole time I'm walking past here, only the younger generation looking. I briefly look at the older ones. And this is one that knows me from previous visits. And I'll stop and they will watch. Look how they're turning. Hello, lovely. I will link the first episode at the end of this video for anybody who hasn't seen it. Ooh, look at this. A bush cook sister. you can check my channel for what a bush cook sister is, or a vegan cook sister. The very plaited, twisted dung of the African porcupine, Hystrix africae australis. Easter vark, the iron pig. If you translate it directly from Afrikaans, Stechelschwein. In Dutch, Stegelvark. Dutch rather, Stechelschwein is German. I'm getting them twisted now. All right, let's just say that again. You can hear the difference. Stechelschwein, German, Stegelvark. Prickly pig. I love the names when you translate them. They are so interesting. But all of them refer to something that is prickly or as tough as iron. Yeah. Or is going to stegel you, going to prickle you. All right, we are definitely moving across to the river. Oh, termites have been active since the rainfall. And vegan ants. Now I've got a video about vegan ants as well. Yes, Myrmecaphorae or Myrmecaphorae. It's a form of seed dispersal by ants. And these are not aggressive ants. Look at this. If these were some of the army ants that live on the reserve, if I was anywhere near here within meters, they will be storming towards me en masse to attack, and they will not hesitate to bite. But of course, these ants are vegetarian. So they're just coming up to investigate. Yes, hello lovelies. Yeah? Don't make a mistake. They've got serious mandibles. If they wanted to bite, they could bite really hard. But they are non-aggressive. Look at this. All right, you can go back. There you go. Enjoy your day. It's lovely. It's a wet day today. The soil is easy to dig through. And here are all the different seeds. Interestingly, these are Medicago sativa seeds. So this is lucern, alfalfa, which they are going to take back into the ground. And then eat the eleosum, the waxy layer on the seed. So they're working together with the plants. And if fire was to come along and burn all the seeds on the surface, all of those that the ants have taken below ground will have a better chance of germinating. So it's nature working beautifully towards a common goal of survival. Yeah. Convergent development. Ooh, there's a bit of sunlight licking through the clouds here. Oh, delicious. I can just feel that change in temperature within a moment. If we were with the Ungulungu meerkats right now, they would stop whatever they were doing, digging, and stop, and everyone would turn up towards the sunlight and turn their bellies, nature's solar panels, and just soak up. Oh, and now immediately with that change in cloud cover, they would huddle down and carry on foraging. I can feel that within a moment, a few degrees change as that cloud passed over the sunlight again. Again, as requested, I'm doing longer videos for some people out there, so you can get a more in-depth view of what it's like to have a day on the reserve. Anything can happen. As you can see, we've already come across some of the smaller but most important aspects, such as those ants. And these are easily overlooked if people are in a rush all the time. We want to see the big animals. Everything has a role to play, and everything is important. This hang-up people have in tourism about size. Really, we need to get over that. Because without the smaller creatures as well, there won't be any of the larger ones. It's as simple as that. Yes, indeed. There we go, the Meerkat Mansion research base up in the distance there, hidden away amongst the trees. Yeah, and Team Shongololo will be arriving at the Stone Dojo gym soon, but they can wait, do some push-ups. A local reserve community visits pretty much every day, and sometimes multiple times a day. However, if they don't see me there, they know I'm out filming. And they can entertain themselves up at the Stone Dojo gym. And then when I get back, we can do some cardio and weight training for strength. Ah, here we go. Zeus. Hello, Zeus. Hello, Zeus, big man. Notice how these hardy-dar ibis have not left Zeus alone. Again, for those who haven't watched the previous episodes, Zeus is the supreme leader here. A very, very big and powerful, beautiful, beautiful beast. Yes, and he's heading off that way. I'm not going to follow him. We'll give him space. Even though he knows me, I'm not going to push my luck and try follow him through thick vegetation, just in case I crunch a twig and alarm him and he decides to charge. Yeah, you don't want to be on the receiving end of 900 kilograms of testosterone meltdown, I can promise you that. Oh, I see the reserve river has dropped substantially again. This was all underwater only a few days ago. Hello, my darlings. Yes, I actually did an episode of this quite a while back. Cattle in my swimming pool. Yeah. So, this is all part of the Stone Dojo swimming pool, which completely fills up here. Taken down the rope as we're clearing out the detritus and wash down from the floods. But just have a look at this beautiful scene. And of course, it's these youngest Katungurus' first visit to the area. It must be so interesting for them as they visit this. All these different smells. There are lots of tasty minerals in the ground. Look at that. Quite commonly, animals will lick out nutrients from the ground. Again, I'm announcing my presence loudly here for anyone who's approaching. There goes Zeus. Definitely not following him through there. But the rest of the herd still hasn't arrived for their drink. It's time to go get some riverine reeds, Phragmites. Yeah, these are over 6 meters high. They are absolutely enormous riverine reeds. Hello, my beautiful. All right. Yes, you're calling. Everybody is coming. Don't worry. They are on the way. My beautiful. Hello. Yes. The older generation knows me very, very well over many, many years that they've been visiting the KATUNGURU HERD Hotel. Any moment now we could start seeing more cattle arriving. There are at least another 24 that will be moving through here to catch up with the herd. Oh, a lovely little anti-fly scratching device right there. I do miss seeing warthogs, the way they rub against the tree bark and rocks, and they get covered in mud, and then they rub off external parasites, the various ticks that accumulate, such as the Buphalus, Amblyoma, Hyaloma, and Rhipicephalus tick species. That's just a fly deterrent. That little rub will have not got rid of any ticks. But the herd is in excellent condition. Very, very healthy. This hotel is a beautiful hotel. And of course, it's because there are so many wild animals living here, like Numida meligris. If you've seen the video Grant, What Made This Sandbath, that was from the helmeted guinea fowl. And they eat ticks. They eat a lot of ticks. So when the cattle move in, they bring various ticks. The birds move in, eat the ticks. And the cycle continues and stays in balance and harmony. In areas where the animals have been disturbed, you'll get an explosion of parasites, for example, because there are no control measures left there anymore. All right, I'm still expecting Katungurus to arrive. You can just hear the crunching, smashing through the reeds as pathways are made into the vegetation here. Hello, beautiful. Hello, beautiful. Ooh, that's so nice. That's a favorite spot there. They're looking for Zeus, who's moved off in that direction. He, of course, is the most experienced amongst them. So when he decides to go off in a direction, the ones who are going over there and getting into a situation of delicious reeds, look at them eating there. They will all start to follow him. He's the one calling the shots here. It's like, let's go. His powerful presence just pushes through the vegetation and they all start to follow. And this youngster has found some very, very tasty minerals in the soil here. And they're completely preoccupied. Hello, beautiful. All right. Oh, you're also visiting that. Oh, that's nice. That's what I was mentioning earlier in episode 1 of today, everybody. When the youngsters start to get a bit of energy as it warms up and they've had a bit of food and had a nice drink, then we start to see the playing, and it's wonderful to watch them jumping around and playing with such exuberance. Brrr. Hello, big mommy. All right. That's nice. Look at that. Everyone is following the same pathway. Brrr. Don't get left behind. Yes. Oh, wonderful. Twins. How fantastic. You're getting left behind over there, everybody. Zeus has moved on. Yes. Zeus is gone already. Yeah. And you're turning around now and finding that the herd has moved on and it's just you left here. You better move. Look at this. Everyone is changing direction to follow Zeus. Brrr. Younger one doesn't quite know where to go yet. You must go left. Go left. That's correct. Follow the smell. Yes. Brrr. Hello, beautiful. All right. Yes. That's very, very nice. Oh, we are fortunate to have found them before they moved into the dense vegetation like they're doing now, because they've had their medicargo sativa, the lucerne snacks, and now it is time for some delicious Phragmites. Oh, yes. It's exactly what buffalo and hippopotamus do in dense vegetation. They just smash through it and open wildlife highways for all the smaller animals. Absolutely wonderful. Brrr. You're all left behind now. Zeus has moved on. Huh? Yeah. Look at this pathway that they've made through here. This was all completely overgrown. Let's zoom in over there. You may have seen some of the reserve riverine jungle highway videos I've made and wildlife highways, and now you can see who is making some of these. Just waiting for the rest of the herd. Let's go see where they are. There's just a few stragglers here. Most of the herd has moved off across to the south. Many kilometers on the reserve riverine ecology. Yeah, the stragglers. Way behind. Way behind. There are also huge bales, hundreds of kilograms of lucerne rolled up and given to them every day. There you can see some in the distance just from today. They've been munching and munching and munching on that. And there are others all over the reserve for them in different points. Let's have a look at the dojo. For those of you who have seen the making of the stone dojo, you'll know how long that has taken. Years and years and years of manual labor by myself, dragging boulders onto the highest point of the reserve. Not many people have actually walked with cattle that I've spoken to. So this is why I'm doing this for any viewers out there, so you can get an idea of what it's like in Africa. Look at this riverine ecology here. We've got lots of flood detritus. These are poplar trees, alien exotics from America. Look at this massive stump here that has been smashed out by the floods. Contact me if you'd like a visit to see the reserve. If you'd like to come get some wood, blue gum trees from Australia that I removed, the alien plants here many years ago, back in 2008. And then of course the acacia trees, thorn trees. I supply the entire area with sustainable firewood harvesting. And then of course these beautiful reserve riverine reeds. Check my details in the comments if you're interested in any of that. WhatsApp and email. Hello, little one. You're very small. Where were you? I don't remember seeing you. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I do recognize you. This is one of the youngest, if not the youngest. All right, little mummies. Not yet to disturb you. All right. Ah, they're so beautiful. Look at that little face. And those soft little wrinkles. Ah, you're very, very young. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Now, if you were to go into this without knowing there's a giant 900 kilogram plus Zeus inside there, that definitely would not be a good idea. Yeah. And they're letting everyone know, come on, everyone, we're over here. Now the stragglers are starting to move across to the river. Look there. And the one who was in the reeds earlier is also coming along. Again, I'm talking loudly and calling the whole time so that they know where I am. Always want to avoid any surprises. And even though these animals are enormous and powerful, that's not their only defense. Of course, they're herd animals, so many of them could attack a predator, but they're also armed with these horns. Not on all of them, but you don't want to be on the business end of that. I promise you now. It would be a bad career move, as I like to say. So again, the whole time, just letting them know as they go for a different kind of takeout. They've had some delicious Medicago takeout earlier, and now it's time for the reserve river reeds. The youngest don't really seem to know what to do with it yet, as they learn from the adults. The youngest parts of the reed are the tastiest parts, not the old, dried out leaves. So they are learning. Again, many animals learn by association. Watching older animals various detritus such as that has been washed down here, which I don't like to see. I'm going to go pick that up in a moment. Unfortunately, people are still throwing rubbish outside rather than disposing of it and recycling it, and then it ends up getting washed down in reserve rivers like this. But I will remove it. Looks like it's an old flower pot. All right. Yeah. Look at that. What an eyesore. Absolutely horrendous finding this here. Anyway, and there it's gone. All right, another long episode, so I'm going to end this one here in a moment, just to see the rest of the herd is arriving as mentioned. All right, some of them are not sure what I am doing here because I'm just emerging from this thick vegetation. All right, you can come on past. I still see a Hadida ibis over there, following along, getting some tasty snacks. Oh, there's still at least a dozen stragglers. The rest of the herd has moved into the thick vegetation over there. My hand's full now with this bit of rubbish to throw away. In town, they can recycle it. Looks like some hard plastic. Yes. Ah, there we go. Now they're calling. Yeah, way off in the distance. An answering call. Here I am. Here we are. Come on. Here I am. Here we are. It's wonderful. Wonderful. A snapshot into the life of the KATUNGURU world famous cattle herd here in the Meerkat Magic Valley Reserve of the Meerkat Magic Conservation Project. Look at these clouds scudding overhead. Oh, magnificent. All right, friends, I'm going to say goodbye for today. Remember, I will link episode 1, if you haven't seen it, of the Cow Whisperer, KATUNGURU Herd, the Lovely Little Lawnmowers after this Yes, don't get left behind. That's right. Move, move, move. One of the younger chaps over there catching up. Yes. And with that beautiful call, until next time, friends, have a wonderful day.